Welcome to A Course in Miracles in Practice. We are really glad you could join us today.
Yes, welcome. Whether you're just encountering the Course, this unique spiritual path focused on forgiveness and shifting perception, or you've been practicing for a long time, we're happy you're here. This is where we explore these ideas honestly, with kindness and real curiosity about applying them.
Today we're looking at Lesson 186, Salvation of the World Depends on Me. Now that line can really land with a thud, can't it? It sounds like this huge burden, maybe even a bit arrogant.
It certainly can seem that way at first glance.
But as we get into it, we find it's actually pointing towards freedom, a genuine humility, and just remembering who we truly are underneath it all.
Exactly. And if you've ever felt maybe you're not quite enough, or that your contribution feels too small to make a real difference, this lesson offers a perspective that's profoundly liberating. We want to explore that from lived experience, not just theory.
We always appreciate hearing your thoughts and experiences. Feel free to email us anytime at acim@theworldharmonyproject.org.
And for reflections and insights grounded in the Course, you can find us on TikTok and YouTube. Our handle is @theworldharmonyproject on both platforms.
Okay, let's get into today's lesson. Remember, this path isn't about striving to become something different. It's truly about recalling the magnificence that's already inherent in you.
Perhaps we should start by reading the lesson itself.
Good idea. Lesson 186. Salvation of the world depends on me. Here is the statement that will one day take all arrogance away from every mind. Here is the thought of true humility, which holds no function as your own but that which has been given you. Here is the declaration of your release from all the world. You do not make it, you do not decree its rules, nor bend its destiny to your commands. You merely give your glad assent to what has been already done. You merely recognize that God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. You merely join your will with His, not in sacrifice, but in joy. Your Father asks you, but accept the part that He has given you without insisting that another role be yours. The means are given you for its perfect accomplishment. The strength you need is yours for just the asking. The gifts you need have been already given and wait upon your welcoming of them. Your mind is perfectly attuned to do what you are asked to do. Salvation of the world depends on you because your Father loves His Son and wills that He be saved. Your part is crucial for His plan because you must accept His plan as yours if you would ever recognize yourself. Today's idea does not contain a thought of grandiosity, nor does it stem from pride. It does not ask that you be different from the way you are in truth. It is no more than simple honesty. Humility would ask this of you, and arrogance deny it. Today we will not shrink from our assignment on the specious grounds that modesty is outraged. It is pride that would deny the call for God Himself. Lay aside all false humility today, and listen carefully to what God's voice would tell you. Do not doubt the adequacy He sees in you. He knows your strengths. He knows your wisdom and your holiness. He cannot be mistaken. If He deems you worthy, so you are. It is but arrogance that judges otherwise. There is one way, and only one, to be released from the imprisonment your plan to prove the false is true has brought to you. Accept the plan you did not make instead. Judge not your value to it. If God's voice assures you that salvation needs your part and that the whole depends on you, be sure it is so. The humble are free to hear the voice which tells them what they are and what to do. Arrogance must make an image of itself and cannot hear the voice for God, nor question that the image is not true. God's voice can speak only for what you are. The image quails before its simple honesty, feeling its pseudo-strength give way before the power of its quiet certainty. You are not weak, you are not ignorant nor helpless. Sin can put no stain upon you, for the truth in you is far beyond its reach. You do not have the power to destroy yourself. What God created cannot be attacked. And this, God's voice, relates to you. The image trembles, for it recognizes that, as this is true, its days are numbered. Its replacement has already come. Let the image go. Salvation of the world depends on you, and not upon that little pile of dust. What can it tell the Holy Son of God? Why should He be concerned with it at all? And so we find our peace. We will accept the function God has given us, for all illusions rest upon the weird belief that we can make another for ourselves. Our self-made roles are shifting, and they seem to change from mourner to ecstatic bliss of love and loving. We can laugh or weep and greet the day with welcome or with tears. Our very being seems to change as we experience 1,000 shifts in mood, and our emotions raise us high indeed or dash us to the ground in hopelessness. Is this the Son of God? Could He create such instability and call it Son? He who is changeless shares His attributes with His creation. All the images His Son appears to make have no effect on what He is. They blow across His mind like wind-swept leaves that form a patterning an instant, break apart to rearrange, and then are gone forever. They go because you have accepted the function God has given you in place of all of them. What represents you now has meaning far beyond the world. It represents your Father's love for you. Perhaps you do not understand as yet how little you have made along with it, how very great the function is the voice for God has given you. Your function is made certain by the fact its source is one who knows no error. Its certainty will rest upon your mind when you have recognized it is impossible the messages he sends must contradict each other or themselves. They point to one conclusion and the same, one goal attainable by any mind which lets him guide the way. His plan is one because its source is one. Do only what God's voice directs. And if it asks a thing of you which seems impossible, remember who it is that asks and who would make denial. Then consider this. Which is more likely to be right? The voice that speaks for the Creator of all things, who knows all things exactly as they are, or a distorted image of yourself, confused, bewildered, inconsistent, and unsure of everything. Let not the thinking of the world direct you. Hear the certain voice which speaks a different lesson, and be sure the lesson is not difficult to learn. His gentle voice calls from the known to the unknowing. He would comfort you, although he knows no sorrow. He would make a restitution, though he is complete. Give you the gifts his son has need of, though he knows that he has them already. Love must give. And what is given in its name takes on the form most useful in a world of form. These are the forms which never can deceive, because they come from formlessness itself. Forgiveness is an earthly form of love, which in the world of form must take the place of what has disappeared. Love's manifestation is not changed, except in form. It must be kind to those who need kindness, for they are helpless. Love is sympathy for those in sorrow, for they are afraid. In this form alone can you fulfill your function here. Be kind, and do not make your brother's error real. Forgive him his illusions, and give him the strength to recognize the truth in him. Salvation of the world depends on you who can forgive. Such is your function here. Okay, that reading always brings up so much. That opening line, salvation of the world depends on me, and then immediately, here is the statement that will one day take all arrogance away. Feels like a contradiction.
It really does feel that way to the ego, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The ego hears, salvation depends on me, and it either puffs up, oh, look how important I am, or it collapses, oh no, I can't possibly handle that. Both reactions are rooted in a sense of self that's separate and either grand or inadequate.
Right.
This lesson is cutting through that entirely. It's saying this isn't about your self-made importance or your self-perceived weakness. It's about accepting a role, a function that God assigned. True humility isn't thinking you're nothing. It's understanding you're part of something vast and loving and simply saying yes to your specific part in that plan.
So the humility comes from recognizing, I didn't make this plan, I don't even fully understand it maybe, but I accept my part in it.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off trying to figure it all out or make ourselves worthy. The lesson says, we did not establish it. It is not our idea. There's such relief in that. Our function is already set, already perfect for us.
And this idea of salvation, it's not about becoming a politician or fixing world hunger necessarily. It's internal.
It's spiritual salvation. It means remembering love where we saw fear, extending forgiveness instead of holding on to grievances, releasing judgment, both of others and ourselves, accepting the truth of who we are. That's the healing. That internal shift is what ripples out and does change the world, but the focus is inward first.
I find the part about false humility really striking. That idea that saying, oh, I couldn't possibly, or I'm not good enough, isn't actually humble, but is a form of pride.
It's a crucial distinction. We often mistake self-deprecation for humility. But the Course says denying the call, denying the strength and holiness God sees in you. That's the ego trying to maintain its separate, limited identity. It's saying, my judgment of myself is more accurate than God's. That's arrogance, disguised perhaps, but arrogance nonetheless.
It is but arrogance that judges otherwise. That line is powerful. If the voice for God, our inner truth, says we are capable, says we are needed for this plan, who are we to argue?
Right. Real humility accepts that assessment. It aligns with the divine view, not the ego's flickering self-image.
How often do we do that, though? Shrink back thinking, I'm not ready, or who am I to be peaceful, or who am I to forgive this?
All the time. And that's where the lesson introduces that image of the little pile of dust. That's the ego self we identify with, the one built on past mistakes, fears, limitations, judgments. It feels weak, ignorant, helpless, stained by sin, as the lesson describes.
And that's a self that feels so unstable. The lesson's description of the emotional roller coaster is so accurate. Mourner to ecstatic bliss, laugh or weep, shifts in mood. When we think that's who we are, life feels chaotic.
Because it is chaotic. But the Course asks, is this the Son of God? Could he create such instability? The answer is a clear no. Our true nature, created by a changeless God, shares that changelessness. Peace comes from aligning with that, with our true function, not the shifting sands of the ego.
So all these roles we play, parent, worker, artist, even spiritual student, they're forms, temporary expressions, but the underlying function remains the same.
Exactly. Those roles are classrooms. They provide the curriculum for practicing forgiveness, for extending love, for remembering our true identity. The function itself, the purpose of salvation through forgiveness, is constant and unchanging.
It brings a different perspective to everyday life. It's less about what grand thing must I achieve, and more about how can I bring forgiveness to this moment, this interaction.
That's the practical application right there. We don't need the grand blueprint. We just need the willingness in the now. The voice for God guides us moment by moment, telling us what we need to do, which is almost always an internal shift, a release of judgment, an offering of kindness.
And we don't have to judge our own readiness or wordiness for it. If the voice asks, the means are provided.
Absolutely. The strength, the wisdom, the gifts they are already given, waiting for our acceptance.
Which brings us back to salvation of the world depends on me. It's not about carrying the weight of the world, but about my willingness to accept my part, to forgive, to remember the truth within myself. That willingness is the contribution.
The world heals as we heal our own perception. It needs us to start playing small, to stop identifying with that pile of dust, and to accept the light we truly are.
We actually got a listener question that fits perfectly here, exploring this very idea of function.
Wonderful.
The listener writes, there seems to be more than one understanding of function. One is a role we play in the world, using our skills. The other is simply understanding that our purpose is to save the world by changing our perception. If I'm a musician and I use my skills to embody the values of the course, does that mean being a musician is my function?
That's an excellent question, and it touches on a really common point of potential confusion. Let's take that musician example. You love making music. Maybe you even write songs inspired by course principles.
The course is quite specific here. It defines our one function shared by everyone as forgiveness or salvation. That means the internal act of changing perception, shifting from fear back to love, releasing judgments. That is the core function.
Right. Your role, like being a musician or a parent, a teacher, an accountant, whatever it might be, that's the form. It's the context, the classroom, the vehicle through which you practice your true function of forgiveness.
So the musicianship itself, the skill, isn't the function. But how you use that role, are you using it to practice letting go of judgment, to extend kindness, to heal your own mind about success or failure, approval or criticism? That's bringing your function into the form.
Exactly. The form can become a beautiful way to express the love and peace you're finding through your inner work. But the function itself remains the inner shift. You could be doing anything outwardly and still be fulfilling your function if your mind is choosing forgiveness.
It makes it so inclusive, doesn't it? It's not about what specific job or role you have. It's about the why and the how behind it, the intention in your mind.
And it detaches our worth from the role. Maybe one day the musician can no longer play their instrument due to illness. Has their function disappeared? Not at all. The capacity to forgive, to choose peace, to extend love from the mind that remains always. Form is temporary, function is eternal.
The mind's capacity for choice, for salvation, remains intact even when the body or brain is compromised. The function is truly of the spirit.
So for the listener, the invitation is perhaps to see your musicianship as a precious setting where you get to practice your true function, forgiveness, and the return to love deeply and meaningfully. Use the music. Don't let the ego use you through the music.
That feels like a good place to bring our thoughts together on Lesson 186.
It's certainly a lesson packed with transformative ideas.
I think the heart of it, for me, is realizing that accepting this function, this role in salvation, isn't a heavy responsibility. It's actually liberation. It lets us off the hook of trying to invent ourselves or prove our worth through worldly means. We just accept the part given to us in a loving plan.
Beautifully put. And it's not asking for grand gestures. It's asking us to stop arguing with our own inherent worth, our own holiness. Stop pretending to be that little pile of dust. Just listen to that inner voice that knows who you really are. That acceptance is the contribution the world needs.
So maybe next time you hear salvation of the world depends on me, you can hear it as a reminder. My willingness to remember love right now matters. My willingness to forgive matters. The world changes as I remember I am light.
And that accepted light just naturally shines. It extends without effort. That's salvation in action. That's our purpose.
Thank you, everyone, for exploring this lesson with us today. It's a journey we're all on together.
Indeed. We look forward to connecting with you again soon as we explore Lesson 187.